let's face it, retail has been amidst a digital transformation even before COVID, and now it's only been accelerated. And, unlike many assertions, it's not merely about machines, it's about the people. And especially during this time, the people want to engage, learn, interact with others, their peers. And that's what we're doing, providing a platform. I like to encourage folks to think of it more than just a book. This is a program to really bring leaders together and provide a roadmap for what the future of retail will look like.
I agree, and I'm extremely excited to write a book. I hope that it serves as a guide, that it's timeless, so someone can take it 10 years later and sort of dust off the cover and revisit the lessons that we learned. I think what will uncover a lot of timeless themes about disruption, how to handle it, what makes a good leader during this time period.
Great. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Becoming retail is really a rallying cry. If you really dissect the words a bit, becoming, it's, a verb. It's inspirational, aspirational. It's a movement from where we are today and into the future. And retail can mean a lot of different things. For me, I grew up in retail. It's really in my DNA. I think about it, as a career, but also an identity as well, and a community. Certainly a community of my peers and my colleagues, something that I'm really proud to be a part of.
Yes, the community aspect is really strong. I transitioned into studying retail as an analyst in 2014. So it's still relatively new to me in my career as a lifelong analyst, but there's just something about the industry. And I came from studying travel, which is a dynamic, impactful industry, also filled with digital disruption. But there's something about retail. It really touches, all aspects of life. People are always making some sort of purchase, maybe even daily, to get their daily necessities. But the ecosystem is so huge, from the financial services that go into it to the product development and sales, the marketing. There's so many aspects to retailing. It's incredible, and it's such an intellectual challenge, and it really speaks to my intellectual curiosity. And when I've met people at conferences and different events, it's just amazing. There's so many inspiring people out there to connect with and learn from, that I'm really excited to highlight them in the Becoming Retail program and learn from them.
Well, you certainly personify retail. Even in the short 6 years, a lot has changed, hasn't it? And like you said, it's going to be really fun to dive into the hearts and minds of retail leaders to, of course, understand and better understand, their view on the future, but also why they're so passionate, why there is this emotional connection to this industry. So stay tuned.
I really hope to uncover the secret sauce to success, right? There's got to be something that's simple and easy to digest, and everyone can do it, and we can all have successful careers. I don't think it'll be that easy, but I do think that there are themes that we'll uncover around leadership that will really, help the industry move forward. I also hope that we uncover, leadership qualities that other people can personify. I'm very excited to share these findings with the next generation of leaders. I think that having a great manual for everyone, including the ones that will take over the mantle, is just so crucial to the retail community. So I'm really excited to kind of discover and leave behind a blueprint for everyone.
I love it. Blueprint for everyone. And you mentioned secret sauce, you mentioned leadership. I think it's important to note that we're going to be defining leaders. We're going to uncover who they are based on experience and the success they've had. But then even more importantly, we're going to look at these predefined 6 retail leadership principles to really understand what it will take to be a leader into the future.
I agree. And this is kind of speaking about the timing of the book. leadership in the time of this crisis of the pandemic is so crucial. So I think even though we didn't plan it this way, it's going to uncover a lot of great lessons for future disruption. And just like the way the industry has responded to digital disruption is certainly, there's certainly a lot to learn there. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. Everybody has their point of view on leadership. I want to be really clear. This isn't another leadership book, but rather it's about leaders. And I guess really our job in all of this is to listen and curate, period, full stop. We'll provide a framework for what it means to be a leader in digital transformation. And we're going to listen. We're going to listen really deeply, whether it's the 500 retail executive we survey from around the world or the dozens and dozens of interviews we do with retail leaders. We're going to listen, we're going to curate, and we're going to play that back, really providing a roadmap, if you will, for what it takes to thrive in the future.
I agree. I think one aspect to build on that listening is that we also are in a great position to ask the right questions due to our experience, your long-standing tenure in retail with lots of different roles adjacent and within the industry, and my background as an analyst. I think with those types of backgrounds, we're uniquely positioned to ask and listen and then tell those stories of the retail community.
Awesome. If I heard you, I think you just basically call me old. So it's okay though. I'll take it. I'll say tenured. No, anyways.
Tenured, or like I said, you need to leave the blueprint for the next generation.
I like it. Put our stamp on the industry, right?
Right. Digital transformation in 2020 means a lot to retailers because stores had to be closed. So I think for the retail community, they had to pull their roadmaps of 3 to 5 years to basically condense them into 3 to 5 weeks in order to serve many consumers during a very difficult time, and they've done an excellent job doing that. And now it's about taking what they learned in speeding up the process and making decisions quickly and deploying technology quickly and iterating on those experiences as opposed to waiting for the most perfect experience and building on that for the next few years.
Yeah, I think that was really well said. The theme that I'm seeing here relative to digital transformation is moving from scrappy to scale. Retailers rallied, and I give them a lot of credit in the early days of COVID from March, April, May, and just getting it done, working through and breaking through that red tape that was typically there in the past. But at some point, retailers have to scale, they have to automate, they have to streamline. So digital transformation is being what has been scrappy, which has worked well in the short couple months, it's felt like a long couple months, to really scaling and making this scale both globally across brands and all the way to the customer's doorstep.
Yeah, and I think it's a great opportunity to be creative and innovative during this time where no one knows what's going to happen. You have buy-in from your customers to experiment. You have buy-in from your investors to experiment. So I'm also eager to see how the retail industry will respond. Obviously a lot of things that we saw being deployed were already on the roadmap. Right. What are they thinking of now behind the scenes in order to respond to what is not a short-term challenge anymore?
It's the new normal, right?
Right. This is a great program, and we're very excited to make sure that everyone is involved. So please reach out to us, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and express your interest. We want to encourage everyone to share their stories with us, and perhaps you'll be hearing from us personally, but definitely reach out to us, and we would love to feature your story in some shape, way, or form. Personally, I love Twitter, but there are a lot of different ways to get involved and lots of different media that we can engage.
The old adage, it's not the destination, but the journey. We're not going to go in a dark room and write this thing in the next 18, 24 months. We want to do this with you. We want to hear your voice, your stories, your point of view. on the future, and we're just providing the platform. We're curating what retail leaders are saying and bringing that to the market to hopefully inspire, educate, and keep the conversation going.